Hi, I'm Rick Kaler. Thanks for joining me. The Department of Labor's groundbreaking new Fiduciary Rule may change the legal responsibilities of advisors who sell financial products for consumers' retirement accounts. The financial service industry pundits that I've read aren't sure whether the new rule is a giant step in the right direction or a successful dodging of a bullet by Wall Street. The original intent was to require those selling financial products for retirement plans to act as fiduciaries, advisors required to put clients' interests ahead of their own. One proposed provision was a restricted asset list, which would have banned the sale of high commission products like private REITs and annuities to IRAs and other retirement plans. Wall Street brokers were, quote, expecting a punch in the face that would force a dramatic overhaul of how they dealt with their customers, notes Joshua Brown, CEO of Ritz-Holtz Wealth Management, in an April 6 article at Fortune.com. Like a lot of regulations and legislation, what was proposed and what was adopted were different. The final rule allows financial salespeople to still sell all the controversial, illiquid, high commission products they currently sell, as long as the brokerage firm can document the product is in the client's best interest. Brown says this amounts to a love tap. Bob Verys, editor of Inside Information, sees the new fiduciary rule as still a big win for consumers and fiduciary advisors. In an April 8th column, he writes, "Professional financial planners and advisors have achieved a victory, and the Wall Street and independent broker-dealer service models have been dealt a blow." Verys argues that the new fiduciary duty to act in the client's best interest will by itself preclude financial salespeople from justifying the sale of high-commission products and IRAs. He also points out that salespeople will no longer be allowed to receive what he calls fat commissions for recommending annuities and non-traded REITs, and therefore are unlikely to recommend those products. Michael Kitces, editor of Kitces.com, suggests the DOL's concession allowing the current questionable financial products to be purchased still by IRAs might be, and I quote him, a brilliantly executed strategy of conceding to the financial services industry the exact parts that didn't actually matter in the long run, yet keeping the key components that mattered the most, which is the fiduciary duty to the client. Brown believes salespeople will continue recommending higher cost products so long as a justification can be made for their being recommended. Quality, performance, things like that. He adds that advisors will still be able to sell the proprietary products of their own firm so long as they can enunciate the reasons why these products are in their customers' quote, best interests, end quote, which is a hurdle whose height will probably be adjusted on a case-by-case basis, as no one really knows what it means yet. Kitces contends that the new law will ultimately give consumers the power to define what is and isn't in their best interests. He says, if and when consumers disagree, you'll have a chance to prove it to the judge when the time comes. In other words, while the DOL's fiduciary rule didn't outright regulate what Wall Street can and cannot do, it did change the legal standard by which those actions will be judged, ensuring that eventually the courts will have the opportunity to rule on these fiduciary conflicts. While the new rule only applies to retirement assets, Verys and Brown see it as a step toward requiring a fiduciary standard for all investment advice. I would tend to agree. It will be a little difficult to be a fiduciary on a person's IRA and then a salesman on the rest of their plan and investments that are held in taxable accounts. Since so many investors do hold retirement accounts, applying a fiduciary standard to those investments might help more consumers understand the difference between fiduciary advisors and product salespeople. This could well increase consumer demand for financial advisors who are fiduciaries for everything a client has, who put their client's interest first. Thanks for listening.